Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Queen Sugar Season 3 Episode 5, and the name of this episode is A Little Lower Than Angels. Man, this was a really good episode, and I have to say, I'm here for Charlie, because Charlie really went through it in this episode, and also another person who really went through it is, well, two actually, is Micah and Blue. So this was a really heavy episode, and it's like every episode is getting better and better, and just the way things are being set up, it literally makes you question what's going to be the outcome. So let me get started. First, who I'm going to talk about is, Ralph Angel and his situation, because the episode starts off, Darla and Blue are just getting back from the aquarium. Remember, Blue had the field trip, and we saw in the last episode that Ralph Angel took himself off and put Darla as the chaperone. So they're talking about the aquarium, about the kind of fish they like, and they're really having like a good mother and son moment. And she puts him in the car, and he begins to ask her, "When are you coming back home?" And immediately she's kind of stunned because she doesn't know how to answer that. And then she was like, "Well, I don't know what to say, baby." And he's like, "Well, you are going to be moving back before you guys get married, right?" See, this is a proof right here that children know more than you think. See, a lot of parents think that a lot of things they do, children aren't paying attention. They're paying attention. I mean, he may not know technically what's going on, but he's feeling something's not right. And he's like wondering, when are you coming back home? Aren't you guys supposed to be getting married? Remember, they had made that promise to him that they were going to be together forever. He's holding them to it. And now she's stuck because she's starting to, and I think with Darla in this episode, she's starting to see more and more what her actions have done to the Bordelon family. Because afterwards, we see that she takes Blue to Hollywood and Vi. Aunt Vi paid Darla dust. Didn't say shit to her ass. She's like, Miss Vi. Didn't say a word. And then Hollywood didn't even say nothing to her either. He kind of like ignored her and went back to working on the car. And I will have to say they are rightfully so in what they did, because Darla needs to get a wake-up call that what you did not just hurt Blue, and it didn't just hurt Ralph Angel. You hurt that entire family, because Blue is like the glue that holds them together. He's like he's always been that piece that helps bring the family together. So when you did that, the whole family is like, and then on top of it, Vi literally got off of her because she had so much anger towards Darla, and for her to get to a place where her and Darla were cool, and she was being like a real mother figure and somewhat of an aunt figure to her, and for her to do this shit, trust me, Darla, you're getting exactly what you deserve. You want to be back in Blue's life, you're going to have to realize that you are on your own. You're not going to have support of the Bordelon family because you burnt them in the worst way. Especially Ralph Angel, because Ralph Angel, still, is still going to be a father to this kid, even though we know in episode 1 he found out that Blue was not biologically his. And it just makes me respect Ralph Angel even more, because he was like, it don't change nothing. So, next I'm going to talk about, Ralph Angel's working the farm. We see that, his new hire, Benny, Benny's coming along, and he's, getting work done and all that. And We also see, later on, Benny shows up at his doorstep and he's like, "What the hell you doing at my house around this time of night?" And he was like, he needs a place to stay because something went down, in the area where he was living. I think he was living with his grandmother or something, and something that popped off, and he's supposedly trying to stay away from the negative environment, and he's trying to find a better place to lay his head. But Ralph Angel kind of made it be known, like, look, I ain't running no motel, and I got a kid. I'll let you stay for one night, and that's it. But then we see the next morning, him and Benny have a conversation, which was a really deep conversation, because he said that even though he's out of jail, it's like he sometimes walk like he's in a daze, like he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know how to really condition himself to live a free life, because he says, I've been locked up for so long that now that I'm out, I still have this conditioning that I'm still in prison. It's like I'm trying to stay away from the bad elements, but it's kind of hard to do that. And him and Ralph Angel had a connection with that, because we definitely known how, where Ralph Angel started, where he was robbing the convenience store, to where he is now. We've seen Ralph Angel go through a process, and he's now at a good place. The question is Benny gonna be a positive thing for Ralph Angel, or is he gonna end up becoming another problem? Because I'm kind of skeptical about what Benny's up to. Just out of nowhere, he hired you, and now you trying to stay at his house. That's gonna put anybody on edge. Like, yo, what's your game? What's going on? And then we see that Benny is trying to find a place to stay, and he ends up doing that, but it's on some area, I think like Craig Street or something like that. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But Ralph Angel's like, oh no, you can't stay over there, man. Like, that's a bad area. He's like, look, they can mind their business, I'ma mind my business. He was like, yeah, until they start messing with your parole. So Ralph Angel decides that, look, I have a kid, but I'm gonna do you a favor and let you stay here until you find somewhere else better for you to go. But he letting them know that, look, this ain't gonna be no picnic, and if you're gonna be in my house, you gonna follow my rules. And I mean that. So I'm like, okay, Ralph, but definitely, Ralph, you old boy ain't in the clear for me. I still got those antennas up about Benny, wondering, is this gonna be a good move or a bad move on Ralph Angel's end? But I'm saying, if things get bad, bruh, you need to reach out to that damn parole officer, because he's the one that sent them to you. So we're going to see how that plays out between, Ralph Angel and Benny. But as far as what we're seeing of Benny's showing that he is trying to go on the straight and narrow path. But the question is, does he have other ulterior motives? So we also see in this episode that Ralph Angel actually goes out with Trish, the Asian girl that works at the boats, and we see that he actually goes to eat with her family, and they have a very big family, and also Ralph Angel's very cool with her brother, and their mother is his boss, and we see that him and Trish, have a moment where they're eating spring rolls with each other, and they're kind of, talking, and he notices that there's like this mantle which was created into like somewhat of like a memoriam or like an altar, celebrating their lost family members. So she talks about her grandfather and her uncle, and that her grandfather died in Vietnam, and that their uncle brought them to America, and he had attracted I think a disease or whatever, and he died, little after he got their family to the U.S. So they hold a memoriam, to pretty much honor their ancestors, and it kind of took Ralph back to the bonfire, I think, where he sees that they pay homage to the loved ones who've helped unite the family. The patriarchs and the matriarchs of the family. So that was very moving. And then when they came in there with the food, and you saw how big that family was, and Ralph Angel was just smiling, it was a very happy moment because we really see that there's a connection that him and Trish have. And Trish definitely reminds me a lot of Charlie. You know, she's a very strong-minded businesswoman. She's loyal to her family, and she's a workaholic. Because we see the next day, Ralph Angel wants to take her out, but she's like, I can't go out Saturday night. You know, I got my grandmother, and I got to help out with the restaurant and all these things. So she's got her hands in a lot of things. And at first I was thinking, okay, are you trying to blow Ralph Angel off? But Ralph Angel's like, you know what? I'm sorry to bother you. You know, have the good rest of your day, and I'll just see you when I see you. So Ralph Angel was kind of thinking that she was turning them down, but then she was like, there are 6 days. There are 6 other days, and he's like, come again? And she was like, I'm off on Mondays. So he was like, Monday it is. So we're seeing that him and Trish are really having this great connection, and I wonder how this is gonna play out. Especially for the fact that Darla's in town. Then one thing I'm also going to talk about too is that we also, like in the beginning of the episode, we see that Ralph Angel has this conversation with Remy, and Remy lets him know how proud he is of Ralph Angel, and that Ralph Angel is actually going to farm all 800 acres of the land. So that's going to be rather interesting, because we're seeing that Ralph Angel is coming into his own, and Remy's like letting him know how proud he is of him. And then we see that Nova is on the porch, working on her story, because I think what Nova is going to be doing, she's going to be writing somewhat of a biographical piece on the farm and her family, which could actually ruffle some feathers, so we're going to see what she's coming up with. But we see that she's on her laptop, and she's trying to come up with ideas and everything. And Ralph Angel walked on the porch like, girl, won't you go home? You done ate up my food. You sitting on my porch. Dang, like, let me get my spoon. And you just messing with her like, girl, won't you go home and do all this? Why you up here all in the middle of everything? All up in my house and eating up my food. Like, you need to go somewhere with that. But we actually see that this also becomes somewhat of an opening for Remy and Nova, and I'm gonna get to that. But let's see who I'm gonna talk about next. I think now I want to, because I'm gonna talk about Micah. I'm gonna talk about Charlie last, because Charlie is the thumbnail for this video for more reasons than one. Because I would have to say this was Charlie's video, and Dawn-Lyen Gardner, you did some excellent acting in this episode, so definitely a shout out to you, sweetheart. You are really playing Charlie, and you really had me at the edge of my seat with your scenes. But I'm definitely going to get to that. So next thing I want to talk about is Hollywood and Vi, and then from there I'm going to talk about Nova. Because, yeah, Nova was doing a lot this episode, too. And the thing that I was dreading actually happened between her and Remy. But I'm going to talk about that. So, with Hollywood and Vi, we see that at first I mentioned earlier, when Darla came to drop off Blue, Aunt Vi paid Darla dust. And so did Hollywood. Because I'm like, bitch, you still in your mind don't realize what you did and how it affected the entire family. But I think she's starting to get that. Well, wait a minute. Boom. My bad, babies. My bad, my people. I just remembered. I was still talking about Ralph Angel. I'm going to talk about Hollywood and Vi, but it just brought me back. Now, the last thing that happened with Ralph Angel is that they finally sit down with Blue, because after that whole situation when she put Blue in the car and Blue was asking, so are you going to move back before you guys get married? She hit up Ralph Angel and said that, look, we need to have a talk about Blue. So they actually had the conversation, and they finally confessed to him that, Blue, you're going to have 2 rooms. You're going to have a room here with me, and you're also going to have a room at your mother's house. And, you know, they actually tell him that, you know, we're not getting married, and me and mommy have decided that we're just going to be friends, but we both are going to be parents to you. And we see that this broke little Blue's heart. He starts crying, and then, you know, Ralph Angel lets him know, you know, Blue, this doesn't change anything. We both are going to be great parents, and we're both going to always be here for you. And he was just like, can I go to my room? And he just goes in his room and cries. And then we see that this literally shook up Ralph Angel. And yo, Kofi Cerebo, you are a talented brother, man. My hat goes off to you, because that, you nearly made me cry in that scene, because we saw that tear come down Ralph Angel's face. Like, this is tore him up, that wow, like, my son really was hoping for us to be a family, and Darla, by her actions, is the main cause as to why that's not going to happen. And we just see that after Blue runs out the room, we see that Ralph Angel, his facial expressions, and we saw that tear come down. I was like, boy, like, Darla, you have no clue the effects of what you did. And it's like she's sitting there realizing, like, wow, I did this shit. Yeah, you did, Darla. You did it. And now you got to deal with it. You want to be back in Blue's life? You're going to have to deal with all the backlash of what you've done, and no one's going to sugarcoat shit for you. So, it is what it is. But that scene really tore me up, because Blue was really hoping that his parents were going to get back together, and for him to know that that's not happening just tore him up inside. And now it's going to bring me to Hollywood and Vi. You know, we see that Aunt Vi is definitely still having issues with her lupus, and she was saying that they kind of calibrated her medications, and she's been kind of feeling, you know, lightheaded a lot, and, you know, she's been having some issues, you know, health-wise. So we see that she made some organic dishes and presented it to Hollywood and Blue. And she was like, she had made like some fried squash, and it was like, you know, some vegan steak or something. You know, I don't remember what the dishes were, but let's just say they weren't really feeling it. And Aunt Vi kind of felt some kind of way, because Hollywood was joking like, girl, why don't you go in there and put some real food on? What you trying to serve this crap for? What you think what you think we are? We ain't vegan, you know? And, you know, Vi felt some kind of way, but, you know, she's saying that, look, you know, this is a part of the, you know, the health change that that Nova introduced to her about eating, you know, more organic foods, and, you know, making more healthier choices would actually help with her maintaining, you know, her health, you know, due to the fact that she has lupus. And, oh yes, and now that I'm thinking about it, also, let me give a special shout out to Lady Nika. You know, I'm a big fan of her channel. Definitely check her out. She also reviews this show, among many others. And, you know, for her being a person who suffers from lupus, you know, she definitely is. I definitely see that same kind of thing with, you know, with her, like we do with Vi, that even amidst all of this health issues, they still persevere, and they still, you know, strive for greatness. So definitely shout out to Lady Nika, because, you know, definitely seeing this scene with Vi made me think about her. Also, we see that, you know, Hollywood tries to play it off like the food is good to Blue. Like, he was like, it's not so bad. And then then also you see Hollywood takes a piece of the vegan meat or whatever, and he eats it, and he's like, I was like, you better act, Omar Dorsey. I was so here for that. And Blue was like, I'm not eating this. Like, I don't blame you either, Blue. Like, because they all like, because we ate it before. We just see that Hollywood didn't like it, but then he tried to get Blue to say this not too bad. And then they end up going out getting some food or whatever. They, I think they went like to some place like Checkers or something like that. They got chicken nuggets and burgers and all that. They eating and they talking, and he asks him like, "Are you and Aunt Vi gonna get married and have babies?" And he's like, "Oh no, we're not gonna have babies." But he says, "But I wonder if when my mommy and my daddy get married, will they have babies?" And we see Hollywood's face, so it's like, oh my God, this baby don't know the truth. But towards the end of the episode is when both Ralph Angel and Darla sat him down and told him what happened. But we literally see that, Blue's been acting out due to the fact that, one, Darla's gone. He still believes that their parents are still together, so he doesn't know why Darla's gone, why he's only able to see his mom on video chat, and why, she's not living in the house anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, kids pay attention to things. And even though he really had no idea, but the fact he knew something was up, and it just didn't align with what he wanted, which was his parents back together. So we see that later on, Hollywood comes to Vi. Vi lets him know about her medications and that, she's just trying to stay healthy, and that's why she's doing this vegan thing. And Hollywood was like, "Look, I'm all for you doing your vegan thing, baby, but I'm going to need me some steak, some burgers, some chicken, I'm going to need that. I can't do this vegan thing." And she was like, "Yeah, I know with all them, I know with all them damn hamburgers you've been eating. Yeah, Blue gave you up." It's like, Blue just said, "Oh yeah, me and Hollywood went out to eat." I can see Blue doing that. So he was like, "Well, I'm going to be here for you and I'm going to support you, and, we're going to work this out. But I can't go all the way vegan, but I'm glad that you're making more conscious decisions about your health," which is what we want from Vi, because, Vi has been pushing herself in her business, and she hasn't been fully taking care of herself. Because we've seen that at that high school reunion, she had an episode, and then she also nearly had an episode when they was trying to deliver the pies to this delivering service. But now we also see in this episode that they finally got the truck, and they're working on the truck and getting the design, so therefore people know when Vi's pies are on delivery. So I thought that was great as well. Now I'm going to talk about Nova. While Nova's working on her proposal, sitting on Ralph Angel's porch, we see that her and Remy have a conversation. And he was saying that she's been saying that she's just been bouncing all these ideas, but, she's just been working nonstop and hasn't been sleeping. She's just been really in her zone trying to develop her ideas for her book. And Remy decides to, I got an idea of some relaxation. And then he pulls out a fishing rod. So obviously that connection that they were having, talking about fishing, he now wants to take her fishing. But I'm kind of really also questioning, Remy's motives, because, you just with Charlie and now you're trying to romance Nova. Like, what is your aim game? What's really going on here, Remy? Because I'm really kind of right now on the fence with your ass, because the way you moving and the way you doing shit, I ain't really feeling it. And I'm not really feeling this. Even though Remy and Nova have a great connection. Like, you just feel the chemistry, but then you also feel how wrong it is, because not too long ago you were with her sister. And also, because at the end of the day, Charlie and Remy were in a relationship. Even though they didn't have sex, they were still in a relationship. And now you're kind of romancing Nova. Even though you guys have a great connection, you just got out of a relationship with Charlie, and now you're coming after Nova. So it makes me think, do you have ulterior motives yourself, Remy? But we see that they go out fishing, and this whole scene was giving me like Jason Lyric tease, where they're on the boat and everything, and you know, she was gonna, you know, bring her laptop on the boat to finish her book. He's like, boo boo, old school. He gave her a composition book and said, take notes. You know, we're gonna be out with one with nature or whatever. So while they're out on the boat, Remy starts talking about Ernest and saying that, you know, when how he knew that Trudy was the one for him was that, you know, when they went out fishing, she literally caught 5 fish to like his 1. So he, you know, said that I knew that that was the woman I wanted to be with for the rest of my life. You know, just seeing how much of an independent woman she was, you know, I think really sparked Ernest's interest. And, you know, if anything, you know, we see that by Remy mentioning this, it's like he's kind of saying he wants the same thing. But then Nova pretty much says that I wonder what her life would have been like if she was still alive, or that she didn't actually, you know, if she didn't actually, you know, accept, you know, a type of condition that her father had, you know, this whole domestic life, when we know Trudy was like a free spirit, you know. And she was wondering, I wonder what kind of life she would have had if she would have been able to live her truth and not conform. And we later on see that the reason why she brought that up, because Remy brings it back up, like, what were you meaning about conforming? And she was saying that every person that I've dated up to this point always wanted something from me that I didn't have. You know, no one actually just wanted me to be just me. And we definitely can see that, you know, with her, with the dating the cop, her with what was the old girl's name, Chantel or something like that. I mean, you know, if y'all remember her name, correct me in the comments. And also with Robert Dubois, you know, Robert Dubois wanted her to be on this high grand scale, and she just wanted to be herself, you know. And then Remy starts saying that, well, you need to find a man that's gonna love you for you, not Nova the activist, not Nova the writer, just Nova. And then we see that this definitely softens Nova up, and she starts leaning on his shoulder. And then the unthinkable happened. They kissed, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be some shit. And you really think, you know, when you had your little issue with Charlie is gonna beat your ass, Nova. She's going to mess you up, because this is really crossing the sister code big time. And Remy, you making me question you altogether, dude, because it's like, I'm thinking, what do you think is going to happen by you pursuing this thing with Nova? I mean, yeah, you have a great connection with Nova, but you were just with her sister. And do you think that the rest of the family's going to be okay with that too? I mean, definitely Ralph Angel's probably going to want to knock your head off your shoulders when he finds out about this shit. Because, like, dude, you literally are about to cause some major drama in the family with this situation. So we just gonna have to see how this is gonna play out. But the fact that they kissed, oh, we already know. My suspicions from last season have finally come true, and I, for one, am not happy about it whatsoever. So that's what I had to say about Nova. Now I am going to talk about this whole situation with Charlie, Micah, and that motherfucker Davis. Now, when we first get a glimpse, we pretty much first I'm going to talk about Micah. Micah definitely has been hanging out with these crew of kids, you know, the same crew of kids that actually kneeled during the ball game. You know, he's now hanging out with them. They hanging out at the house. You know, old boy in the kitchen talking about something. Do I have anything up in here that's not organic? You know, and they just in there talking, and they're saying that, you know, we want to go out here and really, you know, shake things up. You know, we're gonna go to, you know, big events, and, you know, and pretty much make a stand and protest. And I'm thinking, okay, they have great intentions, but they're all hot-headed and they're misguided. And due to the fact that right now Micah is going through it, especially after what his sorry-ass father just told him on the last episode, you could be rebellious, but you can be a rebel without a cause. And when you're a rebel without a cause, you do nothing but cause havoc for yourself versus making change. Because they got great intentions, but they're all hotheads, and they just like, we're just gonna go out here and just, let's just go out here and just start shit, and let's just make a stand, and like, let's just go out here and just do, and let's just like make an impression, let's shake things up. But the thing about it is, it gonna actually have a positive effect or a negative one, and that's where they kind of on that thin line, because due to the fact that they're hot-headed and misguided, it can easily lead down the wrong path. And due to the fact that Micah's right now, he's kind of vulnerable at this point, but yet also angry, is definitely shaking things up. So then we see that Charlie comes in. She sees these kids just hanging out in her house, and we can tell Charlie felt some kind of way, like, Micah, what the fuck is this? I let you go to private school, and now you got motherfuckers just hanging up in my house. And then old boy that was in the kitchen, I would consider him like the leader of the pack, because I have to say he's very intelligent, but he is definitely the biggest high head out of all of them. So he tells Charlie, like, Charlie, do you got some I see you got this almond milk. Do you have any regular milk? And she was saying that almond milk is actually better for digestion, which is why we drink almond milk. But then he lets her know that, look, there's not a lot of milk that comes from almond milk, so really you're drinking majority water, and that it's a long process to get milk out of an almond. And he was like, it's just something for you to think about. And I was like, I like him. I like him because he is very intelligent. But the thing that I'm kind of on the fence with him is that he's a hothead. So it's like he doesn't listen to discipline, and that can be dangerous. But we see that he actually is a smart kid. So, and then Charlie was like, "Oh yeah, and tell your boy to take his foot off of my dining room off of my living room table." And you're like, your friends are kind of reckless, but that's just how they are. And we also see that Davis calls Charlie, and Micah immediately is like, I ain't with that. He's literally playing Davis dust, which I don't blame him. And we also see that he calls Charlie to say that he wants to come there to talk to her, and Micah. So she's like, okay, I'll see you when you get here, not knowing what the hell just happened. But Micah's like, the hell with him. And she even asked about Kiki, and where is Kiki? Because we definitely saw from the last time we saw Kiki ain't really feeling this group of people. Even though she knows them, she don't deal with them. And now that Micah, with all that he's gone through, is probably going to be more submerged into their circle versus hers, that's definitely going to cause problems between him and Kiki. So we just had to keep watching to see what's going to happen with that. But then we actually see later on that finally David's sorry ass shows up, and we see that Micah literally pays him dust and walks out. Didn't acknowledge him, and obviously this sets Charlie back, like, what the hell is going on here? What happened between the two of you? And we see that Micah actually goes with his friends. They go to this, plantation, where this plantation has literally been turned into a tour site. There's even a fucking couple taking their wedding photos in front of this place. And then you got people who were literally dressed like in the 17 and 1800s during the time when the plantation was running. So we see that they actually go to this plantation, and they sit on the porch, of these chairs. They sit in these chairs on the porch, and they just sitting there talking. And then we see one of the guys that work there. He's like, "Excuse me, you can't sit in that chair. That's like an artifact. It's over 260 years old." And he was saying that, yeah, and my ancestors worked this land 400 years ago. They actually built this damn chair. And you're going to tell me that I can't sit in a chair that my ancestors built? Why are you over here bothering us? Won't you go over there and bother those ones who are over there, putting the chains on? Won't you mess with those slaves? But don't come over here and tell me that I can't sit in a chair that I know that my ancestors built. And I'm sitting here in honor of them. I'm like, you better fucking sell it, boy. You better do that. And the white guy couldn't say nothing because he got him right at the tongue. And I was like, there you go, boy. That's black power right there. So I'm saying they got good intentions, but they're hotheads. So he was like, you guys need to leave. Old boy wasn't going to move, but other boy was like, yo, let's get out of here. Let's go. So later on, we see that they go skip rocks or whatever. And we see the same boy. He's sitting by himself, and he's like looking in the distance. And he pretty much, and Micah goes to tell him like, yo, what's going on? He said, my brother's in there. And we see that they're looking at at a penitentiary. So his brother's locked up. I wonder if his brother's Benny. That would be kind of funny because him and Benny kind of similar a little bit, as far as their features. Like they could look like they could possibly be family. So I wonder, is Benny his big brother? That'll be interesting to find that out. But he's saying that, my brother's in jail. So we see that there's a part of him that we actually saw a human side of him, that this boy is actually longing for a male figure in his life, and the person he looked up to is locked up. So in a way, a part of him doing what he's doing is him lashing out. Which I say can be dangerous because, as I said, if you're hotheads, you can easily make decisions which could actually, have a negative effect versus a positive one. So we see that after David shows up and Micah leaves, because that was pretty much time what actually happened to Micah after Micah left. We see that Davis and Charlie have a discussion, and he's like, there's something I gotta tell you. And she gets a call. He literally takes the phone from her and lets her know that 13 years ago I had an affair, and I have a daughter, and her mother just died, so I'm about to move back to LA so I can take care of her. So immediately this throws Charlie back like, you actually had a child in our city 13 years ago. This was while they were still married. And I'm like, yo. And the thing about Davis, he is such a smug son of a bitch. Because the way you delivering this news, you think that they're just supposed to just take it and be okay. Like, dude, you literally hid a damn child for 13 damn years. And you did it right up under her nose. So then he's saying that, look, I know I've made bad decisions with our relationship, but I'm a damn good father. I was like, if you don't take your wannabe Bill Cosby Jello pudding serving ass out of here with that bullshit, Davis. Really? You just broke your son, you son of a bitch. You got some damn nerve to tell me I'm a damn good father. You just fucking broke your son in the worst way. If any damn thing, ain't no Father of the Year award for your ass, David, so you can go to hell with that bullshit. And then he drops the bomb and saying that, look, I'm trying. He's like, yeah, I'm a good father, and Micah, Micah gets it. I told, and she's like, you told Micah before you told me? So now she's running why he's not talking to her and why he's being very kind of standoffish and kind of in his own zone. Oh, she went the hell off. She was like, oh no the hell you not. she was like, whoa. She's like, get the hell out of here. She went off pushed his ass up out the door, and she just broke down. And I was like, Dawn-Lyen Gardner, you better act your ass off, because that hurt my heart too. I was like, you grimy motherfucker. Real talk. And we see that she reaches out for everybody in that situation. She even tried to reach out to Micah. Micah obviously knows what happened, but he's over there with his people. So he's like, you know what? I can't talk right now, but I'll holler at you later. Love you. She reaches out to Ambai. She reaches out to Nova. Reaches out to Ralph Angel. Nobody's picking up their phone. The only person that reached out to her was that damn Jacob Boudreaux. And he wants to meet with her to discuss some business. So we see they go out. They got damn Jack Daniels. They fucking drinking shots. They going back and forth with each other. We see there's these group of guys that come up and they're discussing, you know, the land and all that. And we see that damn Jacob kind of pushes them off, you know, kind of to derail them from Charlie adding things. But Charlie kind of peeped at, like, what the hell y'all talking about land for? Like, what the hell's going on? So, from the way things are looking, that whole EPA situation may be a load of bullshit. But we see that, you know, they've been drinking and they're talking and they're, you know, connecting with each other. And we definitely see there's some chemistry there between them, as we've noticed before. They also end up dancing. And while she was dancing, Dawn-Lyen Gardner is a phenomenal actress, because in that moment you saw all kind of emotions come out of her. You know, her being upset, you know, her being vulnerable, her being strong and determined. You really saw all of these emotions while she was dancing with him, and how she's literally trying to stay strong and not break down. But we see that this woman has been dealt a blow. And she pretty much had even told Davis, like, how far, you know, do you go till you hit bottom? You know, it's like it just keeps getting worse and worse with y'all ass. And we see that this really broke Charlie, that she literally built a career and a life with a man who literally lied to her face. And she just knew about the damn time you had that situation with the prostitute who ended up getting raped. You know, but now she realizes that you had a whole motherfucking child that you hid right in the same city that we pretty much built our names in. So she's hurt. And then we see afterwards, you know, her and Jacob obviously are still talking. You know, they're outside, and next thing you know, they kind of gaze into each other's eyes and they end up kissing. But then Charlie was like, look, I gotta get home to my son. But we definitely see Jacob is really feeling her. But at the end of the day, Jacob, what the fuck's going on with them damn workers? What's really happening? I think we're going to find that out next week, because I think Charlie going to get to the bottom of this shit. But then we see that Charlie has mixed emotions, because here it is, she likes this guy, but she's still on the fence with him because she doesn't know, you know, about... Because remember, she's been meeting with this private investigator who's looking into them. And they haven't found anything on Jacob. But she's still kind of on the fence. Is Jacob really clean, or is he dirty? So we see that she ends up taking a bath and everything. And we just really see that Charlie has been dealt a very harsh blow. And the question is, how is she going to bounce back? So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'm sorry this is a long review, but a lot happened and I didn't want to miss a beat. But again, if I missed anything, put it down in those comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Queen Sugar right here on KRS TV. So until next time, everybody, take care.